What is up, my viewers? Spang here, and it is time for a World of Tanks viewer-submitted replay commentary. This is going to be a match submitted by Never Aim, and it is a standard battle on, Siegfried line. Yes. First off, I just want to apologize to you guys if you're keeping up with my channel on its day-to-day uploads. This should be day number 2 in which uploads have resumed after about a week hiatus. Somewhat unplanned on my part. Now, I had some life events happen. Basically, I went to a convention, screamed and yelled and did a lot of talking, and basically kind of threw out my voice. You can probably still hear it a little bit. There might be a few cracks here and there because my voice is still recovering, but this is pretty much the soonest I could have gotten back to commentating. Now, Never Aim, driving his AMX 50B, he said this was like his 5th or 6th battle in it, and he said he was loving it so far. In fact, he's gotten 2 ace tankers by this point, and just absolutely decimating. Now, if you're wondering why you see so many replays from him on my channel, it's because he submits a lot and he's a great player. I mean, just looking at his games, you can tell he is a tier above the average World of Tanks player. And therefore, ooh, that little replay glitch is still happening. Almost killing that WZ 131. But unfortunately, getting a little bit of a low roll there. His average damage 400 per shot, getting 781 dished out. The 704 saying idiot, 62 killing that 131, and possibly not worth it here because he pushed into quite a bit of the enemy forces. Ooh, yeah, now we see him. Quite a few TDs and a medium tank surrounding him, an IS-8 heavy tank, which is basically a medium. And the enemy team, so far, just holding a hit point lead, but match-wise, it still is obviously anyone's game. It's too early for anyone really to gain a significant advantage. Now, speaking of advantages, the enemy team did have 1 less tier 10, but a few more tier 9, so all in all, probably pretty even to say that tank-wise, the teams are fairly matched up. There we go, Never Aim getting a shot on that cogwheel, RNG giving him a good solid smack there, and another one for good measure, and number 3 coming his way. Only a few of those hit for damage, not all of them, obviously. Some of them getting absorbed by the tracks, but that E75 definitely taking far more damage than he wanted to. Never Aim now reloading his magazine, his clip, whatever you want to call it. Most people say they are clipping when they are reloading. This IS-7 pushing up, being ballsy. He's going to meet face-to-face with a 121, who will get off a good solid hit, but Never Aim still reloading, unable to help his ally, and his team doing a pretty good job of holding the line here on Siegfried line. However, it's kind of an all-out brawl at this point. The IS-7 definitely not going to trade favorably here. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, he's going to get one shot off and get shot how many times? To his death. And there was another little replay glitch there that was quite common in 9.5 and I think to an extent in 9.4. Right here, Never Aim saying good job to his 121, getting him low enough to the point where Never Aim could finish off that IS-7. This VK7201, a premium tank, pretty much like the E100, but a little bit more mobile, a little less well armored. However, it does have the what the hell is that factor, whereas most people, your average newbie won't know how to fight it, and therefore you're more likely to bounce more shells. And surprisingly enough, the VK7201 does have good gun depression for a rear-mounted turret. In fact, it's pretty much on par with E100 in practice. I've never really had a complaint when playing the 7201 all that much. It's actually quite an enjoyable vehicle. And it hits hard. Like I said, it's basically an E100. It has the same exact gun, so hopefully that'll be getting a buff when the penetration changes come around, because they were talking about buffing the E100's cannon average penetration, but we shall see. Right now, Never Aim's team does have a hit point and tank lead, but ever so slightly. It is still anyone's match, and there goes that tank lead. Hit point lead apparently still holding, although I'm not quite sure if that can be trusted, but we shall see. The enemy team still has a 183, which can one-shot Never Aim, especially with his thin French armor, and if he's firing hash, well, it's a bad day for him. Never Aim fully aware of where that 183 was, at least I'm assuming so. And that IS-8 probably going to die here, but not before the 62A gets a shot off on Never Aim. IS-8, RNG not exactly on his side. Perhaps he should have aimed a little bit longer, but he wanted to get a shot off before Never Aim killed him, but he didn't connect. So, too bad for him. E4 definitely still full enough health to be a concern, and it looks like, wow, that's turning around real quick. Quite a few of his teammates die there in rapid succession. And the 704 taking out that 121, the 5120 definitely going down to another 704 as well. And Never Aim knows when he is outnumbered, and he knows to basically GTFO. And that's something you'll see a lot more experienced and aware players do, is when they are no longer in a favorable position, when the map starts to change, they'll move. They won't sit there and wait for the enemy team to come crashing down on them. They will get their tank out of there and regroup with the rest of their team. Try and actually, is this going to be the end of Never Aim? Of course not. There we go. 183, also known for its bad accuracy. In theory, according to the stats on the actual specifications within the game, it's about as accurate as an IS-7. Some would argue in practice, not so much, but such is the way of the game. I mean, a lot of people say the actual specification stats in the game are not entirely representative of what the actual accuracy and so on and so forth are of a tank. Still, the enemy team definitely in a underdog position at this point. Never Aim's team having a 1-tank lead, and one of those being a Waffenträger E100, who is, this E4 definitely had an opportunity to shoot Never Aim, but good for him, he did not, and there we go, kill number 3. And will Never Aim be able to get Top Gun with only 3 more enemy vehicles remaining? Well, he's going to get 1 shot off on this T-54. No one can accuse him of trying to steal that, even though the 704 probably would have just gotten a high enough roll to kill it anyway. So Never Aim, it could be argued, was just getting his damage, and right now doing a little tank dance. Because why not? Enjoy your victory. Up by 4 tanks, and the enemy team down with just a Tier 8 and Tier 9 remaining. It's pretty much all but over at this point. Never Aim having a very solid performance, and probably going to wrap this up for his team. Over 7,700 damage dealt, certainly being a swinging player. And by that, I mean a swinging... What is the... a pivotal role, I guess, is what I'm going for? I don't know. The 704 now spotted in town, apparently being very sneaky and full health. Okay, this might hurt Never Aim, but he knows he can take it. And his shot misses, 704's connects, and he will get off 1 shot for damage. Not a good trade, but the WZ-132 comes in and will finish off that 704 without any difficulty. But if he can kill him in time before the Waffenträger E100 comes in and takes the little kill there. Still, nice little zoom out mod. Never Aim just trying to get a final view on what exactly was happening, and over 8,000 damage dealt. Very solid performance. Let's go to those post-game stats and see how well everyone else did by comparison. Alright, for Never Aim's part, if I had been paying attention, I probably could have told you he got Confederate. I think it was fairly obvious with the amount of damage he was dishing out. He would have gotten high caliber, and I think I misread the email because obviously this was his second ace tanker he was talking about, so he had already earned it by this point. Damaging a good number of enemy vehicles, getting a good amount of credits and experience, mostly credits, and when it was all racked and stacked, he had the most damage by far. In fact, even if you combine like the top 3 damage performers underneath him on his team, he still has more damage, I think, if my little quick head math is right there. That's a rough estimate, of course. And the enemy team just not doing nearly as well. Their scouts really not doing much, and the IS-8 getting wrecked by Never Aim before he could really have a chance to do much either. So definitely safe to say that when you have a player who is taking your hit points down, your team's hit points down at the rate Never Aim was, it's going to be hard for your team to really do much when they're dying so quickly, when they're losing so many other hit points. But such is the way of things. Now, I actually just noticed he was Team Autoloader versus, well, Team, I don't know what you call it, Team Big Gun, because you got 704s, 183s, a 7201. You've definitely got higher hitting, higher alpha guns on that team, but Never Aim's team just with a Waffenträger, the Batchat, the 5120 and 5100, the Lorraine even. Wow, I didn't even realize that was a thing. Not that I can be blamed for that, considering he did virtually nothing, but the 50B. So Team Autoloader definitely bringing it home, and Never Aim being their team captain, apparently. And here we go, 27 shots fired, 25 direct hits, and 22 penetrations for a total of over 8,150, just barely. And enemy vehicles destroyed 9 and 3, damaged versus destroyed, obviously. And so if he had just killed 1 more vehicle, he actually would not have gotten that Confederate. So I suppose it's a good thing. Damage due to players' assistance, very minimal, but overall raking in quite a hefty profit and getting a good amount of experience, especially for a tier 10. Very well played, good sir, but I think that's going to about do it for this match. Thanks for watching. If you got a replay you think I should do a commentary on, please check the description below for instructions on how to submit. Hopefully I'll have a more revised version up there within the coming weeks. The one down there is currently slightly outdated, but also if you want to find out more ways to follow my channel or support my channel, also information on that in the description below. But until next time, this has been Spang, and I am just clearly oh so professional.
MLG Dynamo.